and welcome to Delicious. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite foods, the avocado. First, an avocado fun fact. Avocados take about 13 months to mature on the tree. Now, when they're mature, that doesn't mean they're ripe. They actually ripen only after they're cut off, so farmers can keep them on the tree for an extra 6 to 7 months before they have to harvest them, and that's how we can have avocados year-round. That said, if you find an avocado at the grocery store that's really rock hard, that doesn't mean that it is unripe or not ready. It just means that you have to wait a couple of days. So one of the questions that we got from a viewer was how long do avocados last? And that's a pretty tricky question because once they are ripe, they don't last very long. But before then, it's going to take some. They're not really ready to eat either. So for example, this avocado is ready to eat right now. This is what we're going to cut up today. When I press on it, it gives a little bit, but it doesn't collapse, which would mean that it's probably too brown inside. This avocado is almost ripe. It gives a little bit, but it's a little bit harder than the other one, so I'm going to wait until tomorrow to eat this avocado. One of the ways that people can tell if avocados are ready is if this little nubbin comes off easily when you pull at it. I don't think this is the best way, but it will tell you if it's a little bit closer to eat. And if it's a really dark brown inside, you'll know if it's rotten, which is, I think, the best use of this. So if you have a bunch of avocados and they do get to where you want them to be ripe, put them in the fridge, and that'll slow down the ripening process. Otherwise, keep them on the counter so that they can ripen. So how do you cut an avocado? The first thing you want to do when you're going to cut an avocado is to cut it in half. So you want a nice sharp knife, and you want to cut right down the center and just swing your knife around like this until you get to the other side of your cuts. Then you can take your avocado and twist it. Now you've got this pit here. Some people say that if you save the pit and put it in with the avocado, if you're making guacamole, that it'll prevent browning. This is bullshit. That's not what's going to happen. What it's going to do is it's going to create slightly more of a space that's going to be covered so that it can't oxidize, but it doesn't prevent it any more than putting plastic wrap on the top. The only thing that will really prevent oxidation is adding some sort of acid like lemon juice or lime juice. So now to get the pit out, take your knife again, just sort of wham it into there, and again twist, and it'll come right out. And then to get the pit off of your knife, because it's stuck, hold the knife away from you and pinch, and it'll come right out. So now there's two or three different things you can do with your avocado right now. The first is slice it, and the second is cut it into cubes. And if you cut it into cubes, that's also what I like to do when I'm mashing it. So to slice it, you can do this in one of two ways, and this is the way that I like to do it. I get a really big spoon, but instead of scooping out the flesh and then slicing it, because if the avocado is like really ripe, it can be a lot harder to slice. I like to slice it in the avocado. So I make a slice down the center, go like this, and then I scoop that out with the spoon. They have fancy tools you can get for this, but you really just need a knife and a spoon. The other ones are just ways to spend your money on useless plastic. And now you have a perfectly sliced avocado. Now if I had done that same thing but cross-hatched, I could get cubes, then I could put it in a bowl and easily smash it up with a fork. Now how do you eat avocados? There's so many applications for avocados, but if you're trying to do something fast, one of my favorites is to just take it sliced or lightly mashed up, put a little bit of salt on it, and eat it on a piece of toast. I think it's delicious. If you want to make it a little bit more fancy, you can add in some garlic or some lime juice. You really don't need much lime juice, maybe only for a whole avocado, a teaspoon. But you can also do other things with it that are sweet applications. If you have a blender, you can take an avocado and put it in there with Sorry for that technical error. We're back! As I was saying, you can actually do sweet applications as well, making something like a chocolate pudding out of avocado. Another great thing is to eat it with a cheese quesadilla. You can also put them in smoothies. An avocado with some frozen berries, or chocolate can be a really delicious and filling morning treat. Thanks for tuning in to Delicious today, and I hope that you learned a lot about avocados. See you later!